Bad Bunny takes center stage. This is the Alligator News Roundup. Oh boy. Plus, Ring doorbells find lost puppies, and maybe they find you too. 150 million hacked credentials are exposed for all to see, and super pigs invade from Canada. Here we go.
Number 4. The Vibe. Bad Bunny bangers translated into English ahead of the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show.
Bad Bunny is in the news, which was exactly as planned, having performed at the halftime of Super Bowl 60. I would urge you not to view the English language translation of the lyrics of Bad Bunny's most popular songs. They are most definitely not safe for work. A Florida congressman, no doubt responding to infuriated constituents who are fluent in Spanish and whose kids are fluent in Spanish and knew what Mr. Bunny was singing about last Sunday night, has promised to initiate legal action. Republican Randy Fine will push for sanctions against both the NFL and NBC for violations of broadcast regulations. Congressman Fine will begin with a letter of complaint to the Federal Communications Commission. Bad Bunny, née Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, has a lyrical repertoire that includes references to very specific activities and body parts in reference to human relationships. Mr. Ocasio did not perform the most offensive selections of his music on the Super Bowl stage, although much of what he did say was pretty spicy, but apparently a lot of people think that does not excuse him from accusations of indecency. Nor do many believe that it justifies the NFL decision to engage him for a show watched by some 135 million Americans. It is pretty clear that the NFL, like every other major brand, is seeking to expand its audience. Latin Americans, more noted for their love of football rather than football, are a growing U.S. demographic that has caught the eye of the Sports Association. Add to this the current furor over the Trump administration's border control efforts, and you have a perfect storm of publicity that raises the National Football League to the level of common water cooler gossip. Free publicity is what every for-profit enterprise hopes for. I didn't watch the halftime show. I would not have understood it anyway. But the same could be said for most other popular musicians that perform in English. If it's not Bach or Vivaldi or Jim Croce or Gordon Lightfoot or the Canadian Brass or Chet Atkins, I'm really not that much into it. And by the way, listen to Chet Atkins' impressive rendition of the Stars and Stripes Forever on a six-string guitar, including the piccolo part. To reiterate my screed from last week's A&R, what would be so wrong with a halftime marching band?
Number 3. Business Insider. Amazon CEO says the Pet Finder AI tool on Ring doorbells helped bring home 99 dogs in 90 days.
Joseph, the coat of many colors boy in Genesis, was sold into slavery by his own siblings. This was not exactly a picture of brotherly love. Later he told them, "You meant it for evil, but God used it for good." True enough, and an instructive Bible story. But Joseph could just as well have posed the corollary, applicable to our modern web-connected society. You meant it for good, but the government is using it for evil. Amazon, through its Ring doorbell product, has introduced a feature called Search Party. You may have seen the Super Bowl ad. Search Party engages all those Ring cameras on a neighborhood basis to find your lost pet. When Fido wanders past a participating camera, the homeowner can opt to release the photo to the distraught pet master. Having tracked an aggravating beagle through neighborhood streets and backyards before, I can see the benefits. Although in my case, I knew where the miserable creature was, but the purebred mutt wouldn't stay put long enough for me to grab his collar. Parts of the web have blown up over privacy concerns surrounding Search Party. The AI machinery behind the feature is said to have been trained on tens of thousands of dog videos in order to distinguish breeds, sizes, fur patterns, and so forth. Tracking humans is probably easier because of facial recognition. Ring has a relationship with Flock, the commercial surveillance network that recognizes vehicle types and license tags to assist law enforcement. Flock, it seems, has a relationship with ICE. This does nothing to quell fears of Big Brother at work on your street. In an exclusive interview with the A&R, a spokesperson for Search Party, a Gerhard von Gestappensee, made a public statement that immediately calmed objections. "We have no interest in finding peoples. We could if we wanted to, of course, but we only want to see Fluffy safe back meet her family. We will never use our highly advanced technologies for any other purpose. Sig Heil.
Number 2. TechRadar.com. Huge data leak of 149 million credentials exposed without any protection.
Well, this is rich. A collection of some 140 million usernames and passwords for banking and social media was discovered in a completely open and unprotected database last month. Records also included many .gov accounts used by federal and state employees across the country. As interesting as anything in this story is that the records were not exposed by a hacker who hacked another hacker's database. The 149 million pirated credentials were simply listed in a file open to anyone. You rat! If you steal my password, at least have the decency to keep it private. Detailed tracing revealed the database account was buried behind third-party relationships, making it difficult, if not impossible, to determine who had compiled the list, who owned it, and what it was being used for. Well, we know what it was being used for. It is a fisher's dream. Accessing personally identifiable information such as cryptocurrency wallets, trading accounts, bank account numbers, social media logons, and dating app credentials are the tools of the trade for an IT geek hoping to separate you from your money. Such a list is invaluable for both spear phishing and whaling. Now look, I know you probably know all this, but indulge me. Spear phishing is an email scam that targets a specific individual, usually in a large corporation, using information about the target's peers that make the email seem legitimate. Whaling is the same thing, but generally targeted at CEO-level individuals. Both spear phishing and whaling tempt the target to click on a link to something that seems legitimate. Once clicked, hidden software is planted in the victim's computer that allows access to what he thought were protected files. The .gov email addresses in this newly discovered database are as troubling as anything because of the implications for threats to national security. Who compiled this database remains a mystery. It was organized in such a way as to be easily searchable, suggesting that it was likely the work of a skilled hacker, but not skilled enough to keep his own site from being hacked.
Number 1. RedState.com hybrid super pigs. The destructive Canadian invasion now heading for the US.
The latest cross-border invasion comes not from the south, but from the north. Feral hogs have long been a problem in Canada. Now their numbers have reached a tipping point as wild boars have bred with domesticated pigs to produce omnivorous and aggressive hogs. They are coming south from Canada, probably to escape the winters to which they are not well acclimated. The USDA has put their destructive price tag in the lower 48 at $2.5 billion each year. That number will only get bigger as more and more show up here without paperwork or green cards. Feral hogs are already a problem in states further south, as evidenced by the growth of helicopter hunting excursions from enterprises like Pork Choppers in Haskell, Texas. That actually looks like a lot of fun. Feral swine, also known as wild boar, are not native to North America and are not to be confused with their cousin, the domesticated pig. Wild boar are smaller, more energetic, and much more aggressive. There are probably 6 million in the continental United States now, and the numbers are growing. They are legal for year-round hunting in about half of the states. From what I have read, you should not assume they can be taken down safely with anything smaller than a .308 cartridge. And maybe a tree stand that the wounded critter cannot reach would be a good idea, too. Bacon, anyone? And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, February 13, 2026. Valentine's Day is apparently upon us once again. You could reward your sweetheart with a new Savage 30-06 and a surprise helicopter hog hunt in the Texas Hill Country. What a romantic outing that would be. Have a good weekend.
We are so glad you joined us. Tune in again next week for all the news and commentary that will make you the envy of your friends and associates.